The summer heat will be scorching for the remainder of this week and into the weekend, with temperatures rising into the mid-90s and heat indexes soaring as high as triple digits. But this sweltering heat isn't the only thing to keep an eye on, as we could be facing a severe weather threat tomorrow, which may include damaging winds. Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another weather update. Today we're pretty much just going to be talking about two key events that are likely to happen to end off this week, one of which will stick around longer than the other, which is the oppressive heat, which is really just going to last all the way into this weekend. The second threat is the severe weather potential we actually have set up tomorrow, which is the same day that the heat is actually going to begin as well. As you can see right now, we're just looking at the current temperatures. Not too bad for July, end of July actually, although it is actually getting kind of late right now. It's 21 after 11. So we are looking at things cooling down after another hot day today. Temperatures actually almost reached 90. We were actually in the upper 80s here in South Jersey. Things cooling down quite a bit all across the state, getting back into the lower to mid 70s. This is actually going to feel cool compared to what we're going to be feeling tomorrow into Saturday. And I'll get to that right now. So we're just going to fast forward just a bit as we move into tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, still looking pretty cool. Lower 70s, maybe getting into the mid 70s as we travel into South Jersey. Move up a little more. Just like that, we can see a jump in temperatures from mid 70s to mid 80s within just a couple hours as we get, it's not even noon yet. It's right now we're at 9 a.m. and it's looking like things are starting to sizzle up quite a bit, already into the lower 80s. Get close, even closer to not even lunchtime yet. Go up another hour, 10 o'clock. Now we're getting to the upper 80s. So you can see 87 here, 80 in Ocean County, the closer to Toms River. I mean, the shore really isn't even safe from this. I mean, it's going to be cooler along the shore, but we're still going to see temperatures, I'm sure, at least reach 80. And probably even later into the day, I'm sure we're going to see 90 in these areas, because not even really that onshore flow can always keep temperatures too low, especially when we have a heat wave like this. So as you can see, temperatures are already in the upper 80s, and it's only 10. Move up another hour. Now we're almost going to hit that 90-degree mark, just about. Could move up another hour. This is one of the depictions. This is happens to be the National Blend of Models. Of course, some other model inputs may say we'll see 90 degrees a couple hours earlier, maybe a couple hours later. Either way, for a fact, it's looking like tomorrow afternoon we'll see temperatures reach 90 for sure, especially inland Jersey. So this is around lunchtime, already hitting that 90-degree mark. Move it up a couple another hours, we could see temperatures maybe topping off around mid 90s. This is 3 o'clock, not even like peak heat hours, especially this time of year. You know, we get 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Those are the hours we got to look out for as far as heat. Those are the most brutal hours when it comes to heat. So you fast forward here, might start to die down quite a bit as we reach 5 o'clock hour, and it looks like it continues to do so as we move to the evening hours. And what I was just saying, yes, we usually do see temperatures reach their peak at this time. However, the next segment of this video I'd like to get into is the severe weather threat, or just rather the chance for thunderstorms that will likely come across the state. Scattered to isolated storms will actually begin to spread, and that is what will actually begin to drop down these temperatures as well. But if we want, we can even look at another map here. Like, hey, we go to maybe even the Euro model. We could see, like I say, still reaching 90 degrees. Even in portions of North Jersey is likely. Sussex County, Warren County, Mercer County, all these counties can easily reach 90 degrees. But you can see even the Euro model places South Jersey at even higher, the upper 90s, getting even closer to the 100-degree mark. I believe it is possible if we can get enough of a southerly flow. And humidity is just going to be brutal as well, which I'll get to next when it comes to the heat indexes. That will only make things feel worse. And you can see here on the Euro model, it's looking like we can hit that 90-degree mark even before, maybe an hour before noon, an hour before lunchtime. Already seeing temperatures hit that 90-degree mark. So what I have pulled up now is actually the what's called the apparent temperature, otherwise known as the heat index, which is basically just factoring in what the humidity makes the heat feel like in the air, what you're actually feeling in the atmosphere. So not just the sustained temperature recorded. This is also factoring in things such as humidity, dew point, stuff basically the stuff in the atmosphere which makes it feel so much hotter than it really is. So as you can see, as we move into tomorrow, not bad at all. Looking cool, just as the other model suggested on the actual temperature. And we fast forwarded just like that. You can see it just spikes within a couple hours. So we go 8 o'clock. The sun has risen at this point, and we can already see things starting to heat up quite a bit. Already getting up to that 80-degree mark, and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. So as far as outdoor activities, it's not even really, you can't even really beat the heat with this one, because like I said, even 7 o'clock, you're seeing mid 70s. That humidity kicks in. It's that sticky feeling in the atmosphere, not very pleasant at all. You can even see along the shore here, we see 78. Already high temperatures there as well. Let's fast forward a little bit more. You can even see one of the stations here in Gloucester County jump from 80 to 90 degrees as far as the heat index in just 1 hour. This happens to be the national blend of models. Definitely crazy stuff right there. This is only 9 o'clock. We fast forward it again, 10 o'clock, just like that. We're just seeing a general outlook of over 90 degrees into the mid 90s here by 10 o'clock. We just fast forward to lunchtime as we get into noon. And this is why we have some of the heat advisories in place. It of course doesn't have to be triple digits, but this happens to be triple digits. And this is very, very harmful heat. This is why you should limit outdoor activities if you can tomorrow, because triple digit heat index, definitely something you don't want to mess around with. It is going to be brutal tomorrow. This is the kind of stuff we're looking at here. So this is by noon, so we're not even really into the afternoon hours yet. Go 1, 2 o'clock. Now we're looking nearly 4 or 5 degrees above the 100-degree mark. So definitely going to be, I would say, the hottest day of the year that we've seen. We've had some days this summer where we've reached close to, I think one day we hit maybe the 98, 99 degree mark, maybe even places further south of that, maybe in like Cumberland County, maybe hit that 100-degree mark, but definitely not as high as this is what we're seeing. So yeah, likely the hottest day of the year. Continue to fast forward, like I said, it'll start to die down in the later afternoon hours, especially the evening hours, when, like I said, we'll get some of that rain to move in, which I'll get to next. But yeah, definitely looking like some brutal, just oppressive heat here. And of course, before I forget to mention, the day after, Friday, will be just as bad, if not even worse. I'll go ahead and show you guys. I'll fast forward a bit. Here. Now we're looking at Friday. This is right here. We're looking at just before lunchtime on Friday. All right, seeing pretty much of the same thing. Temperatures in the upper 90s, and of course, again hitting the triple digit, the 100-degree mark by the early afternoon hours. Fast forward some more. Let's just go into Saturday when things start to chill out a bit. Where, as you can see, even Saturday, we're looking at Saturday right now, still seeing much of the same thing. Still hitting that 100-degree mark. Maybe not as brutal, but when we're talking about 100 degrees, a 100-degree heat index, it's not really going to feel like much of a difference. It's still going to just be, it's just going to feel like you're dying out there pretty much, especially if you're doing things like yard work, really anything outdoors, even going for a walk, bike ride. It's not going to be pleasant at all. Just be sure to stay hydrated. As you can see here, the National Weather Service for Mount Holly has already issued heat advisories for the entire state. Every single county does have a heat advisory issued. Some counties in northeastern Jersey, even in New York City metro area, some of those counties in that area, all even have excessive heat warnings as well. This is actually the NAM model we're looking at here as far as heat indexes. Tomorrow, this is just tomorrow, we could see we're going even higher with some of these with some of this model output. Some stations even forecasting up to 108 degrees as far as the heat index. Even getting into northern Jersey as well, where the excessive heat advisories are issued. So really, no one's getting a break from the heat here. Even far north in like Sussex County, even some of the higher elevations, you can see here still above that 90-degree mark. And once again, we're just going to stay on the NAM model here, moving to tomorrow. Like I said, looking at the same thing. Maybe not as hot as Thursday, but still getting into the triple digits. And then it doesn't actually go as far as Saturday, but Saturday, like I said, still looking at pretty much the same thing. So what I'm actually looking at now are dew points, which is basically how much moisture you're really feeling in the air, which is what, like I said, what produces that sticky feeling that makes you feel like what I call in a soup pot. It's what it feels like sometimes, like you're just being pretty much cooked. in like a boiling pot pretty much. And we can just fast forward here as far as tomorrow. What we usually see, like this right here, upper 70s. I mean, I remember you could see lower 70s, maybe mid, like 73, 74 degree dew points. That is really just, for me personally, just unbearable. And now we're looking at in, like I said, northern Jersey, even upper 70s, 76, 77 are being recorded here. Once again, we go into Friday, looking at much of the same thing. Only even hotter, really. I mean, these are where the excessive heat warnings are issued, which actually makes sense because you can see some of these dew points, 79. It's almost 80 degree. That's almost an 80 degree dew point, which is really just awful. Just really, I don't even know how else to describe it other than unbearable. We're just talking about extreme humidity here. That's just going to make things feel even hotter, which is why those heat indexes were climbing all the way into the triple digits. When you have dew points like this, it's really to be expected. When you sustain temperatures up to 90, just like that, it could soar what it actually feels like to the triple digits easily when you have this kind of humidity in place. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about now is the severe weather threat we have for tomorrow as well. So like I said, it's not just going to be the heat kicking in. The heat wave is also going to be some thunderstorms we're going to get in the afternoon hours. As you can see here, I have the different storm predictions that are issued. Right now, just categorical on outlook, we're looking at a slight risk for just all of the state right now. The whole state is under a slight risk, which the Storm Prediction Center labels it as pretty much just short, maybe isolated, intense storms, possibly even severe, which is what we're pretty much going to be looking at tomorrow. It's pretty much likely to bring isolated to scattered thunderstorms, mostly during the, like I said, the mid-afternoon to late evening hours. It's hard to really get an exact time frame, but it's likely they're going to start bubbling up likely in the afternoon, likely more isolated, but then as we get into the evening, if humidity really starts to kick in, we're going to get a lot more development, a lot more as far as thunderstorms. Like I said, some of these may be severe, so caution is, of course, as always advised. As far as the most likely kind of threat we're talking about here, it would be the locally damaging winds. The Storm Prediction Center actually labeled that as 50% for the entire state, which is the highest percentage we have compared to any other threats. So right now, as of right now, it's winds that are what we're going to be mostly looking at here. But let's also not forget that we do have the hail. That a hail threat also exists along with this, which will be our second greatest threat. Only 5%, so it's not looking as great of a threat as wind. Even a small tornado threat does exist across northern Jersey at 2%. Definitely the least of our worries, but not something to just exempt completely, because you never really know. You could always get rotation in some of these storms, and so like I said, mostly that we're going to be worried about some of the straight line winds. If we get maybe a short, it is possible actually that we can't get a squall line of storms tomorrow. Some of the model output is actually showing that, which I'll get to in a second. So it's possible we even get like a bow echo formation, which will really just push those winds out, and possibly even get to 60, so even hurricane force winds are possible, according to the National Weather Service. And like I said, as far as when, I would likely label it anywhere from 3 to 10 o'clock. So like I said, just through those afternoon hours, mostly mid-afternoon, but even as early as I'd say 3 o'clock, it's looking like some of them might start bubbling up on the radar. And all the way to 10, maybe even 11 o'clock, some of the rain showers begin to move out of the region. So we're back on the NAM model now, and as we can see, we're just going to move into tomorrow with this model. 2 o'clock, like I said, we're starting to maybe see some showers pop up around this time. 3 o'clock, now we're starting to see some of the some of these isolated storms begin to pop up on the radar. Most, like some of them are saying maybe 1 or 2 in North Jersey. As per usual, what happens with these really, when it comes to these summer thunderstorms, these pop-up storms, you really cannot predict exactly where they're going to be, as I'm sure most of you know. So this is why the whole state is actually labeled in this threat. So this right here, we could see a couple more of these possibly in South Jersey around this time. Just a way, like I said, just because of how high that humidity is and how humid it's going to be in the atmosphere, it's really just like gasoline for storms, pretty much, one of the ingredients. So we'll see that. We'll see some more storms move in. Maybe we're getting into 5 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe around dinner time. Now we're going to see some of those more possibly even severe storms move in. Maybe a broken up line here. Like I said, usually when it gets closer to the ocean, they do begin to break up in this area, although we have had some lines hold up. Some of the squall lines actually being able to hold itself together as it moves through the state. although really can't determine whether or not it's going to be a squall line. It's a possibility, but either way, it's looking like we're going to get some storms, possibly even severe, because we do have those ingredients in place, which we'll get to in a moment. 6 o'clock, much of the same, maybe breaking up a little bit. We're still seeing those ice. See, now it's looking more scattered. Like I said, we go back a couple hours, maybe afternoon hours, we'll see them more isolated. We get to the later, maybe even in the evening hours, we'll see them more scattered at this point. But yeah, they're likely going to be exiting the region. By midnight, they should really, the bulk of the storm should really move out of here. But I did mention some of the threats we're going to be having. I did mention humidity. That's going to be a big factor. I went over that with the excessive heat part of this video, that segment. And this, now we're going to look at CAPE values, or convective available potential energy that's going to be in the air, which the atmosphere basically use as a second source of gasoline, if you will, to really fuel those storms. And we'll see some pretty high values here as we begin to move into the day. So this is later tonight. We're going to move into tomorrow. Even the early morning hours, looking at pretty high values here, getting closer to even to 500 along the shore. As we move into the afternoon hours, we're really going to see some of these storms take place. It's mostly going to be higher amounts by the shore, even over 1,000 joules per kilogram. You just fast forward to even more now. Really, it's going to become more widespread, not just exclusive to the shore. It's going to, especially even northern Jersey as well. This is 11 o'clock. So this is most of the storm's going to be out of here, but we're still going to see a lot of this available energy. So even, like I said, even 11 o'clock, like I said, that's when they're going to be moving out. The bulk of them, it's still possible that thunderstorms following that line, or the bulk of it, may still form. So it actually is looking like once the storms do begin to develop, it's likely going to be, it's going to really have more potential near the shore. This is just as far as CAPE values go. So we can maybe see some of those stronger storms begin to take place, really just on the eastern corridor of the state, more so southeastern, or more or less southeastern. But like I said, this doesn't take away that we still have potential energy, and we still have that energy in the atmosphere that some of these storms can tap into. Like this is 8 o'clock when the storms will likely still be developing. We see it push more west, some of these higher values, closer to 500, even getting into Atlantic County. Western Atlantic County, Monmouth County. We'll see some of these, maybe some of these severe storms are going to develop as we get into this zone. Like it's even 9 o'clock as well. Now it's really just beginning to extend into the western portions. This is when we'll likely maybe even see some of these more severe storms possibly take place. So anyway, guys, I guess we'll just end the video off there. Pretty much discussed everything I needed to as far as what kind of weather events we're talking about to end off this week, which, like I said, is just going to be the excessive heat and the severe weather potential we do have in place for tomorrow afternoon / evening. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.